A new solar project is coming to Delaware County, but some aren't happy to see them. Find out why some Muncie residents are saying.
And asking for action, what several gun advocacy groups are saying 4 years after the Parkland school shooting.
My full forecast coming up.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching Newslink, Indiana.
Good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Anna Chalker.
And I'm Kara Przuchek. A new solar project in Delaware County is stirring up controversy among some of the residents.
Newslink Indiana's Tara Konieczny spoke with the community members about why they say this project may be harmful.
November of 2021, Delaware County released news on 2 solar projects coming soon near Gaston and the second in Albany by the Muncie Dragway. The county states that solar is coming to Delaware County because, quote, an abundance of resource to solar power, access to the transmission grid, and a regional demand for power. Since the announcement, some residents have not been happy.
When I saw the map of the proposed layout of this, I immediately started crying and wanted to puke because I couldn't even fathom waking up every day and looking out every window of my house and seeing solar panels.
The people of the Delaware County Solar Crisis Facebook page say that this project could be hurting good soil, farmers, landowners, and the environment.
I don't think anybody's going to want to buy a property that's surrounded on 3 or 4 sides by panels.
It's the best farm ground the prairie is going into that's available in this area. You're taking the heart and soul right out of the county.
The goal of the page and the movement is to push the Delaware County Commissioners to redraft the county's solar farm ordinance to solve the effects it could have on them.
Let's get a group together and fashion a plan for how we can implement solar energy and wind energy in a way that doesn't destroy thousands of acres and doesn't disrupt the quality of life for hundreds of families.
The most concern is for young farmers and how solar could take away farmland for those in the future.
Younger guys coming up in operations that aren't participating in this will be at a tremendous disadvantage.
In Muncie, Tara Konieczny, Newslink, Indiana.
Newslink Indiana did reach out to the Delaware County Commissioner's Office for comment, but they did not respond.
Now transitioning over to weather, it was very chilly today, but I think a warm-up is on the way.
I'd hope so. Adam, what do you got for us?
Yeah, it looked beautiful today, but yes, it was very cold, but we're starting to see some clouds beginning to move out of the area. That's going to lead to some cooler temperatures tonight, but currently 20 degrees here in Muncie, 19 up into Fort Wayne, 24 into Indianapolis, and 17 over into Lafayette. We do have a slight breeze so far this evening, so it's going to make those current temperatures feel a little bit more on the colder side. Currently seeing wind chills here in Muncie of 20 and 19 up into Fort Wayne. So wind chills aren't super strong right now. Temperatures are a little bit on the colder side, but yes, a warm-up is on the way.
Adam, thank you. Police in Kentucky have detained a suspect in what Louisville City Council president is calling a, quote, assassination attempt on a mayoral candidate. Police say the suspect walked into mayoral candidate Craig Greenberg's office this morning and fired multiple shots at him. They say Greenberg was not hit by a bullet, but one did hit his clothes. No one else was hurt, and investigators have yet not determined a motive.
It's been 4 years since the tragic shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, leaving 17 students and faculty dead. The father of a student killed that day has since become a vocal advocate for gun reform, and he's pressuring the Biden administration along with a coalition of advocacy groups. This morning, Manuel Oliver, the father of one of the victims, climbed a crane near the White House to deliver a message to President Joe Biden. He revealed a banner reading, 45,000 people died from gun violence on your watch. Several advocacy groups rallied outside the White House today, urging President Biden to take more aggressive action on gun reform.
The fact that they haven't done everything and anything in their power is unacceptable.
DC police say 3 people were arrested after the demonstration. But President Biden says, quote, with the Parkland families whose lives were upended and stand with those working to end the epidemic of gun violence, and Congress must act.
Tensions are rising amid the Russia and Ukraine dispute as Western leaders say the situation needs to be settled in offices and not on the battlefield. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan issued a stark warning yesterday that the U.S. believes Russia could launch an invasion of Ukraine this week, but is still holding out for hope of diplomacy can prevail.
There's lots of different ways that Mr. Putin could do this, and we agree with Mr. Sullivan completely that it could happen any day now. In fact, I think we all need to be prepared for the fact that it could happen with little to no warning.
The U.S. is closing its embassy in Kyiv, Ukraine's capital, amid the rising tensions of a Russian invasion. Officials had previously ordered all American citizens and U.S. government employees in the country to leave, but a small group of diplomatic professionals remained. Those workers will be temporarily relocated to western Ukraine to be further away from where Russia troops are gathering on the country's borders. The State Department says the decision was made to protect the staff's safety as the situation on the border deteriorates. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says he still hopes to resolve the dispute diplomatically.
We all know how expensive school supplies can be, dropping hundreds of dollars on books and online programs just to use them for a few months. While we do that, one Ball State organization is spending its time raising funds to help underprivileged children in Kenya have appropriate supplies for school. Newslink Indiana's Race Maddock met with the founder of this organization to discuss its goals and what it expects for the future.
When she's not teaching a class, the leader of Ball State organization DESK sits in her office, thinking of the future.
My name is Winnie Muchera, and I'm from Kenya.
DESK stands for Delivering Education Supplies to Kenya. It has been operating since 2010, but the idea came to fruition 8 years earlier when Muchera was visiting Kenya, the country where she was born, and saw a 9-year-old child working, collecting sticks instead of being at school.
They said, then do something about it. Don't just get upset about it. And I thought, I could afford $20. I could afford. So I actually sent money for this kid to be bought a school uniform.
Schools in Kenya require all students to own a uniform, a practice left over from the British colonization of Kenya. It was meant to prevent wealth hierarchies in school based on fashion.
So you'll have this really inequity very right in kids' faces, where you have some kids with the trendy clothes and some kids barely making it, like torn clothes. And so the British system decided to introduce school uniforms. So everybody's the same. We don't know whether you have money in your home. We don't know whether you have money. Everybody's looking exactly the same, right?
And over time, this turned into not only covering uniforms, but also other supplies such as pencils, notebooks, medicine, and feminine hygiene products.
I started taking some school supplies, pens and pencils. And I remember the teachers being really excited about just the pens and pencils.
Phil Wrighthouse, an Indiana public school teacher, says the lack of school supplies can go much deeper than what's on the surface.
But when kids don't have paper, when they don't have notebooks, let alone, things in good condition, it can create a social gap within the, microcosm of the classroom and really distract from the learning.
And thanks to some very kind donors, Mushara and DESK have raised money to acquire nearly 1,000 uniforms in their last 3 trips to Kenya.
You are talking about over 200. About 700 to 800 just in those 3 years.
And while you don't have to donate, Mushara says a donation could change a child's life.
It's something that you see as a moral responsibility, where you think, I could help a child by just giving $35 and that changes a child's life.
From a small organization sits big dreams. Dreams that'll change the world within time. In Muncie, Race Maddock, Newslink, Indiana.
If you'd like to donate to DESK, you can find more information about them on Twitter under @DeskKenya or Instagram under official.desk.
One of the lawyers from the January 6th riot is under pressure today. Why the committee says they want to examine 11,000 more emails.
Plus, the federal Arbery trial started today, with the 3 convicted men may be facing.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, MITS will take you there.
I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
A federal hate crimes trial of the 3 Georgia men convicted of Ahmaud Arbery's murder is now underway. Opening statements began today in the trial of Travis and Gregory McMichael, as well as their neighbor, William Bryan. The men are currently serving life sentences from their murder convictions in state court, but the federal trial will focus on race as a part of the case. They are currently charged with interference with rights and attempted kidnapping. The McMichaels also face a weapons charge.
Joshua Wagner of Greenwood, Indiana, has been sentenced to 30 days in jail for his role in the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. Wagner apologized in court after pleading guilty to a misdemeanor last year. The government stated that Wagner's phone video showed him referring to Capitol police officers as traitors. Federal Judge Amy Berman Jackson says that Wagner clearly wanted to inspire the rioters. The judge stated he wasn't like others who stepped in and took a selfie and stepped out. A co-defendant, Israel Tutro, also of Greenfield, was placed on probation in December.
One of the lawyers who supported former President Trump before the Capitol riot is facing pressure from the January 6 committee. John Eastman, who spoke to the crowd just before the violent insurrection, has turned over 8,000 emails in the Capitol probe. But congressional investigators want to examine nearly 11,000 more. Those emails are related to his false legal argument that the election was stolen. The former Chapman University law professor retired over the controversy, but Chapman still owns his email account.
The Ambassador Bridge is back open after being closed for nearly a week due to Canadian protests over COVID-19 vaccination mandates. Just after 11 p.m. yesterday, the Detroit International Bridge Company said it was reopened to traffic in both directions. Windsor police say 5 vehicles were towed and more than 25 people were arrested to reopen traffic. The Ambassador Bridge is the busiest border crossing between the U.S. and Canada, handling $400 million in goods each day. When I walked out today, it was pretty cold. Adam, what is coming up?
It's cold for now, but expect to see a warm up over the next couple days. My full forecast coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward. Come together.
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
9:15 on this Monday morning, and you're taking a live look at campus. And it was a pretty chilly day, but I am so excited to say it. Here it comes, a weather warm-up. I can't wait for those 60s.
Adam, let us know what's coming up.
Yeah, it was a pretty looking day, but it didn't feel that pretty outside. taking a look at radar, we're not seeing much, seeing a couple clouds here and there, but most of those clouds are moving out of the area. But that main talk has been these cooler temperatures. Currently it's 20 degrees here in Muncie, 19 up into Fort Wayne, 24 down to Indianapolis, 23 down to Bloomington, and 17 over into Lafayette. So expect to see temperatures drop down a little bit throughout the night tonight, but not too much. Tonight here in Muncie, dropping down to 16 degrees under mostly clear skies, light breeze east-southeast at 5 miles an hour. While those winds aren't super strong, it is still enough to make those teens feel a lot cooler than they actually are. Current wind chills here in Muncie, 20 degrees, 19 up in Fort Wayne, but look at Kokomo, 5 degrees. That's a big change. It feels a lot cooler than what it actually is thanks to those winds. But expect to see much of that tomorrow, starting at 22 degrees as you head out the door tomorrow. So grab those hat and gloves, but you won't need them by the end of the day since that warm-up is going to start later in the afternoon. By lunchtime, 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies, but all the way up to 44 by 4 p.m. for our high tomorrow. Now, that's just the start of our warm-up. That's all thanks to the jet stream. Look at this big bulge in the jet stream. That's allowing all this warm air to push up. So expect to see some warmer above average temperatures over the next couple of days, as well as some gustier winds on Wednesday and on Thursday, as well as some precipitation to end the week. But look at this dip down here, down the Four Corners region of the southwest U.S. This is going to begin to push in, and that's what's going to bring us some rain, as well as, unfortunately, some more cooler temperatures. Now, those cooler temperatures and that precipitation is bad news for Muncie goers, because this has been a terrible winter for potholes. We have multiple days where it's above freezing, and then it rains and snows, and then it's back down to under freezing. All that precipitation gets into cracks, it freezes, it expands, makes the potholes even worse. So bad news, it's going to continue to get worse over the next couple of months. Taking a look at your mid 7-day forecast, it's going to warm up quite nicely over the next couple of days, but look at Wednesday, up to 54 degrees. However, I am tracking another system moving through the area on Thursday, so expect to see some rain for most of the day on Thursday. There could be a little bit of snow or sleet mixing on Thursday, but don't expect too much accumulation. After that, we're going to see temperatures drop back down to 30 on Friday with sunny conditions, warming up a little bit Saturday, up to 36. Sunday, we're going to see it warm back up into the 40s, but then all the way up to 52 on Monday, and sunny to begin the week next week. So we're going to have a bunch of those where it's cold, warm, back on this weather roller coaster.
Well, I'm excited for it to be warm and out of the teens for once.
I will be excited, even though it's the middle of February and we're maybe getting some precipitation. I'll be glad that we're just hitting the 50s. It does suck, though, that we're going back down to 30 as soon as it hits.
But don't worry, you'll be right back up.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. I know. Groundhog said a few more weeks, but maybe we could just get a little bit of experience of what he's saying right now.
The groundhog could have gotten a little confused.
Hey, Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter, but Mother Nature is telling us otherwise with these temperatures in the 50s.
Very true, Adam. Thank you. And Bryce, what could we be seeing in sports tonight?
We got an exciting Super Bowl last night between the Rams and the Bengals. We'll have the highlights, and Ball State women's tennis facing a busy schedule this season. How the Cardinals are working through it next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months,
How many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it?
Is this... What is that?
Seriously. Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to Newslink, Indiana. I'm Bryce Dimsevich with sports. Women's tennis has been living on the court, playing constant back-to-back matches with little time off. Newslink, Indiana's very own Zach Greer took it to the courts to find out how they're handling the competition.
Ball State women's tennis has been competing in matches left and right. With their busy schedule, head coach Max Norris is telling his players to keep their heads up high.
I think the game plan was just to embrace the opportunity, and also challenge that we had to drive back late last night. So just embrace that opportunity, because you will have to play back-to-back matches at some point if you want to win a championship.
Positivity is key for these ladies as they plan to continue their dominance into the next matches.
I think we send a good message to other teams that we can stay consistent and just keep working. And it was important for us today to show up here and bring the energy, and I think we did a good job with that.
Of course it's tiring, but I think we did a good job playing these matches. We're in a good shape right now, all of us. So yeah, we're just being here for each other, and if something is not going right, we're just being there.
Coach Norris's game plan is very simple, making sure that every girl on this team has an opportunity to go out and win. By doing so, this will allow them to absolutely smash the rest of the competition.
We try to get outside as soon as we possibly can, because we want to develop the ability to go in or out at a moment's notice, because that's what it's like playing in the spring. So just almost baking that into the player's strategic understanding, like that's actually part of winning, is being prepared for either surface.
Preparation is very important for this team as they travel to face the Lady Toppers of Western Kentucky and the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee this weekend. In Muncie, Zach Greer, Newslink, Indiana.
Running over to the track, Ball State Track and Field posting multiple personal bests at the Doug Raymond National Qualifier this past weekend. Starting off with the field events, Carly Zumbro broke her personal best in the long jump with a 5.3 meter jump, as well as the 60-meter hurdles with a time of 9.04 seconds. Next up, Charity Griffith posting a 5.95-meter long jump, placing in second, and an 8.97 second 60-meter hurdle. Janelle Rogers finalizing the long jumpers, jumping a personal best with 5.39 meters. McKenna Sinote rounds out the field events with a personal best in triple jump with an 11.86 meter jump. Moving to the track events, Zumbro recording a personal best in the 800 meter with a 2 minute and 14 second run. Sarah Greer also posting a new season best in the 800 with 2 minutes and 23 seconds. 3 Cardinals running personal best in the 400 are Alexis Thigpen, Jenna Orani, and Emma Potter. Finally, Jenna Schifferer, Jessica Velez, and Maddie All earning personal best in the 5,000 meter run. The next and final stop of this indoor season will be the Indoor MAC Championship next week. Sending it all the way out to Los Angeles for the Super Bowl, Rams, Bengals. Let's take a look at the top plays. Picking action up in the second quarter, Bengals running back Joe Mixon takes the pitch and tosses a dime to wide receiver T. Higgins in the back of the end zone for their own Cincy special. Just before the 2-minute warning, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford scrambles out of the pocket and takes a deep shot to the end zone that is picked off by Indiana native Jesse Bates, giving the Bengals a boost into the locker room. Right at a halftime, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow fakes a snap to Mixon, avoids the pressure, and throws an absolute dot to Higgins over Rams corner Jalen Ramsey as he marches in for a 75-yard touchdown to put the Bengals up by 4. Late in the fourth quarter, Rams need a touchdown. Stafford takes the snap and throws a beauty to Offensive Player of the Year Cooper Kupp to put the Rams up by 3 with less than 2 minutes to go. Rams would go on to stop one last-ditch effort to the Bengals to capture the Lombardi Trophy with a final score of 23-20. Now, I know I wanted to see the Bengals win this one, but the Rams pulled it out. It's good to see Aaron Donald and Odell Beckham Jr. get rings. How do you feel about the overall outcome of the game?
I thought the Rams were going to win.
I thought the Bengals were going to win. it felt really good to see them win in their like home state with like all their fans there. I feel like that's really special, and we don't see that often.
And I know there were so many special people on that team, like the one that it's his 16th season. He finally got a Super Bowl championship, and a lot of these men, this was their first time getting a Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not only just a Super Bowl championship, because a lot of them also got a lot of other special announcements that night. Take a look at this one Rams player who went from one win to another. Wide receiver Van Jefferson is now both a Super Bowl champion and a new dad. His wife went into labor in the middle of Super Bowl 56 while he was doing his best to beat the Cincinnati Bengals on the field. Jefferson posted a photo to his Instagram story after the big game, showing him cradling his newborn baby boy. His caption simply stated, quote, ×2. That's a reference to the fact that he and his childhood sweetheart are also parents to their 5-year-old daughter, Bella.
After the break, it's Valentine's Day. What experts say America might be spending this year on gifts.
And we'll take one final look at weather. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Love is in the air, and Americans are willing to pay up to show their love this Valentine's Day. According to the National Retail Federation, people across the U.S. are expected to spend nearly $24 billion on Valentine's Day gifts this year. That's up from nearly $22 billion last year. As for what they buy, well, the classics, of course. Candy, greeting cards, and flowers are at the top of the list of the most popular Valentine's Day gift items for 2022. I got a beautiful note from my parents, and
That's great.
that was the best part of Valentine's Day.
It
for
is,
me.
and it is great, and I'm gonna let you know half-price candy tomorrow makes it all better.
Yes, that's true.
And let's get one final look at weather, Adam.
Well, love's not the only thing in the air. Warmer temperatures are in the air as well. We're going to see warm up over the next couple of days with a chance of precipitation on Thursday, cooling back down for your beginning of your weekend, but right back up into the upper 40s and then up to 51 on Monday to begin your week next week.
And Adam, you are correct. Love is in the air, but so is the good weather.
Yeah.
It's very exciting for all of that to come. And that's all going to do for tonight for Newslink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the Newslink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.